Hi, I'm Cathy Anderson, style writer for Atlanta Magazine and blogger behind Poor Little It Girl. I'm here today with 4 of Atlanta's most notable fashion bloggers.
Hi, I'm Jennifer Duvall and I'm with JennySueMakeup.com, and the mantra behind my blog is a mommy with a makeup problem. I'm a freelance makeup artist, but on my blog I like to take the confusion out of makeup application and all the makeup products out there right now.
Hi, I'm Mattie James of Mattiology.com and AtlantaStyleBloggers.com, and the motto behind Mattiology is how to live what you love through your personal style. I'm a freelance fashion writer and I just love all things girly and fashionable and stylish, and so I blog about it.
Hi, I'm Eboni with the Fashionista Next Door, and my blog's motto is easy, affordable, accessible style for the stylish girl next door. And my blog is really about that really fabulous girl next door who you envy and you want to be her, and you can't figure out how she pulls it off, and she does it all on a very tiny budget.
Hi, I'm Catherine Lee with AsianCajuns.com. It's a fashion and lifestyle blog. I write with my twin sister who just moved to Scotland about 6 months ago, so we both write from our own cities, talk about the stuff that's going on there and what we love to wear.
Okay guys, so just to get things started, how would you guys describe the style scene and blogging scene in Atlanta?
Well, first of all, I guess I will say that I was shocked at how many style bloggers there are here, and also how many fashion events there are here. I think I get invited to 3 or 4 events a week. Fashion shows, fashion previews, grand openings of new boutiques, and things like that. And I didn't expect that.
Because Atlanta's not known to be the fashion capital at all. Anything like it, you know.
Yeah.
You never hear mention in Vogue about Atlanta.
Right, exactly.
But it really is its own little enclave, and the Atlanta fashion blogger scene has really expanded, because when I started 4 or 5 years ago, there was really no one out there doing anything from Atlanta, but now, you know, there's you guys and there's hundreds out there. I mean, you must know because you do the Atlanta fashion blog.
Yeah, there's so many fantastic bloggers out here, and I think it's cool because it's kind of like this mecca of so many different personalities and types of people, you know. And I think the cool thing is that it's style, so it's not just married to fashion. It's you know, food, it's makeup, it's hair, you know. And so there's all of these great young women and men who are like blogging about things that they're really passionate about, and I think it's really starting to make people notice Atlanta, you know, for some other things. So I think we're known for music and entertainment, but now people are like, oh, there's some bloggers there too. So it's been kind of cool to see it grow like that, you know.
Well, and it's neat to see because they all kind of go together, the fashion, the lifestyle, the makeup, the beauty. I mean, you can't really have one without the other.
Absolutely not.
So it's kind of neat to see all the different personalities, and I'm sure we're all from extremely different backgrounds, but we all get along so well because the scene in Atlanta is so inviting. I mean, it's Southern hospitality at its best, you know, at its finest. So.
Now, did you guys read each other's blogs? Are you familiar with each other's blogs, and what do you like about what your peers here do on their site?
Well, I actually, when I first started researching and just trying to put together Atlanta style bloggers, because I was like, there's a lot of us here, why don't we have like this place to like,
community.
You know, exactly. And so I actually found out about Asian Cajuns, and so I was very excited, and I was just like, this is cool, because I have a sister too. We're not twins, we're not that cool, but you know, so it was really cool to see that. And then I learned about Eboni, and then I learned about Jenny off of Twitter, and so that's how I found out about everybody. But yeah, I've definitely known about everybody, and it's just been kind of cool to see everybody grow, because like you said, you've been doing it for like 5 years now, and so I've only been doing it for 2, but it's been cool to see everybody grow, especially in our market, you know.
Yeah, I definitely have been a long-time reader of Mattiology and Asian Cajuns, and I'm now going to be a reader of your blog because I now through this
makeup tips,
this experience I've had a chance to meet you, so I'm really excited because beauty is not my
But I checked out your website and I saw the thing about the Too Faced eyebrow kit. And girl, I did not have that, but I want to go get it now because your brows looked amazing.
And that's what beauty.
Yeah, well, I know enough to read the blogs.
I checked out that post and I was impressed.
No, when I realized I had to do my own makeup for the shoot, I was like going to your blog and I was like, what is she doing? What is she doing? I was getting a pickup tip. I will be going back for more tips.
Exactly.
Good.
So you guys aren't necessarily Atlanta focused blogs, you're just Atlanta based blogs. However, do you have any favorite boutiques here in Atlanta that really inspire you, or any of your posts, or any shops that are kind of your hidden treasures around here that you really enjoy getting inspiration from?
I do try to focus not a lot, but I do try to focus on the local boutiques because I really do want to support the independent retailers, because all you hear about is H&M and Topshop, and while those are great, it's really the independent boutiques where you're going to find that something special, and so Decatur is a great place, Virginia Highlands, downtown's really exploding with more boutiques, and you can really find them, but sometimes it's hard, especially for visitors or people who are just used to going to the malls. So I try to mention give a little shout out to the locally owned places.
Of course. I think I'm really big on supporting both, the local boutiques here and e-commerce, because I do know that a lot of people who are bloggers have online vintage shops. I'm all about vintage. And then thrifting as well has really, there's some great spots on Marietta Street. And so I think it's been really important to me to not be mall focused, because I think a few years ago Atlanta was a mall type of city, but I think since vintage and thrifting has grown, it's really evolved into those other types of places as well.
I agree with that. Thrift shopping is definitely my favorite. It's the thrill of the search, the thrill of the find. I know some people get a little freaked out and they say, oh, it smells and the stuff's and stuff. But you go in there and you find the most amazing things. I found a beautiful vintage peplumed Christian Dior blazer, and I paid $4 for it. I mean, only at a thrift shop will you find
my
things
sister,
like that.
she was in North Lake, of all places, went to Goodwill there, found a Bottega Veneta woven leather bag, $1.50. And it's the real thing.
I don't know if you guys read Baby Shopaholics. She found an Hermes scarf at B&R thrift store in Sandy Springs for I don't know, she paid $2 or something ridiculous for it.
I can't handle it.
Amazing.
Well, for me, since I'm more makeup and beauty based, I tend to definitely hit up Sephora, of course. The department stores are great for inspiration because you can work with all the girls at the different counters. Everyone has a different perspective. I definitely think it's great to use those ladies at the different counters that are your favorite. Unfortunately, I haven't really been to very many specialty makeup shops. There's just not a lot of them there.
There's a lot.
One place I do love to go is Junkman's Daughter's Brother, which is in Athens, and they have a ton of stuff and a lot of theater makeup, which I do like to dabble in the theater makeup, and they have much more vibrant colors and the pigments are great, and then the eyelashes they have for theater, I mean, it's not something you're going to find at CVS, so it's kind of nice to go. I mean, I guess that's my thrift store type of experience. To a place
I don't
like
think
that.
you want to buy used makeup.
No, right. You want it to come
awkward.
brand new. Yeah, so I'm a little different in that aspect, and then I do love a good drugstore find. I mean, everyone's on a budget.
What's your favorite drugstore line?
My favorite drugstore line? Ooh, it depends on what product you're talking about though. L'Oreal. Mascara, I would say L'Oreal Voluminous or CoverGirl Lash Blast Volume.
I like Lash
Blast Volume. Two of my
favorite. Voluminous by L'Oreal.
Just the old school Voluminous. You just can't beat it. I mean, I've bought all the Christian Dior's and the expensive Benefits and the Yves Saint Laurent, and you just can't beat. And as much as that mascaras I use, it's got to be cheap. Because you have to throw away everything. When you can't keep it around because it. So I do love good drugstore makeup, and I have 3 kids, so I have to keep it on a budget.
So you guys have obviously all been blogging for a couple of years and are very successful in your own rights. But what would you say is the biggest misconception about being a fashion and beauty blogger that the reader doesn't realize, what goes into the posts each day?
That it's easy.
Well, it's not as scary as it seems. People think, oh, you're putting your picture out there, and it does take a little bit to get used to that. You are kind of exposing yourself in a way. But it really isn't as scary. You think people are going to write mean things, but the blogging community is very supportive. Once you comment on another blogger's blog, they'll comment back and then just say the sweetest things.
It's like a sisterhood of sorts.
It really is. Even today. You know what I mean? This is, I've known Eboni for a little bit now, but this is my first time meeting Cath and Jennifer, and so now I kind of feel and even you know, so I kind of just feel there's like an understanding with blogging, because I still think it's so new that it does take, you know, some guts to really put yourself out there, because you are really just kind of taking the walls down and you're kind of like, hey, here I am.
You're exposing yourself.
Exactly.
Yeah.
You know what I mean? So
Yeah.
it's like there's that common respect. Like, you know what? I respect her because she blogs about X, Y, and Z. So yeah.
Well, and we all know what goes into it. Yeah, you don't just write a couple words, put a picture up there. It takes some time and effort, and
It's a second job.
oh, yes.
totally.
I mean, if you were, I mean, I work full time.
Yeah,
Definitely.
me too.
And so this is like totally, it's a second job. It's a lot of work, and you
but
put
it's
a lot
fun.
of
It's
thought
fun
into
work.
it. It's
I mean, I
fun.
think that's the difference.
Yeah, it's definitely fun.
It's fun. I mean, there are definitely there are those moments when you're like, what am I going to talk about? You know, I do not have anything interesting, or I have talked about this mascara 5 times. So, you know, coming with something creative and new is difficult. But when it happens, it's kind of like, I got to blog about this like right now and figure it out, you know. And I'm like, kids, I'm putting in a DVD. You're going to watch Baby Einstein for the 3rd time because Mommy's got to type.
gotta get this out.
And you got to get this out, and I'm going to need you to eat another snack, you know. But yeah, and I think the misconception is that it is easy in terms of like putting it up there, like, you know, HTML code and pictures and stuff. And it takes at least an hour for me to put one up.
yeah.
Because I'm usually
Formatting pictures, figuring out what you want to write, editing it. There's still going to be a typo or something in it.
Exactly.
Always, I
Exactly.
always have a typo. Like at least
You
one.
read it the next day and you're like, oh my god,
I know.
catch that.
Totally.
So to kind of wrap it up then, where do you guys think and or hope that the blogging scene in Atlanta goes? I mean, New York and LA are kind of known as the blogging capitals, if you will. Do you think that Atlanta has the ability to reach that sort of heightened awareness?
I think
absolutely.
like Atlanta has this very like eclectic thing. You have people in Atlanta from everywhere. It's kind of like a hub city where people are moving here from everywhere. So that creates this culture that's influenced by all of the places that people came from. And it creates its own unique style that reflects your lifestyle that you live here. So I think that there is a place for Atlanta in the fashion blogging big scene, I guess. That's what you want to call it, just because of the unique culture of the city. Like Decatur, for instance, is like this cultural like melting pot, if you will.
High Museum, whether it's Little 5 Points, you know, there's so much going on here in Atlanta. And like Eboni said, there's so many of us who are not originally from Atlanta that we do bring influences from, you know, where we are originally from, you know what I mean? And then, you know, we incorporate it to the Southern lifestyle, you know what I mean? Whether it's food, you know, obviously we're not going to be as covered as somebody in New York because it's 60 degrees here today in the middle of February. But, you know, still, I think the really cool thing about Atlanta is it's still growing each and every day. And so I believe that's going to affect the blogging community as well.
Absolutely. Yeah.
Awesome. Well, thank you ladies so much. To learn more about these bloggers, be sure to check out the April issue of Atlanta Magazine.